my son was a victim of this bail reform. Without going into this story again, my views on this is that had they given him some type of bond and he would have to have bond out in my community, knowing our bail bondsman personally, he would have had some type of supervision. You know, and our community is very small, so we know what you're doing. We know who does what and who's wreaking havoc on our neighborhoods. Someone would have probably called whoever held his bond, whether it had been Miss Bella or, you know, Lenny Corbin or any one of them, and said, hey, this guy is running around with a gun again. They would have went and picked his behind up, and my son would still be here. Now, I've been to meetings and discussions where everyone's saying, oh, you can't say what if, what if. But tell that to my heart. Okay? Everybody's talking about, oh, the poor people. I'm the poor people. My community is the poor people. They're saying they're doing this for us, but no, they're not. Last week, I was sitting at a meeting where they were informing us about the new rules and everything, and they had the nerve to explain to us that our community gets its money from the correctional facilities and things like that. Their plan is to take all of this money to build another jail. They're not dumping it into our schools or doing things, you know, to help the kids not become part of the criminal system. They're not doing any of that. No one seems to care. You know, but I say like this, my son is gone, but I'm not going to let his memory die like that. I'm not doing it. If I have to go and spend the night over there in Trenton on the steps when they go, I'm going to be there. Every time I hear that someone needs to speak out, I'm going to be there. I don't care. And they're talking about money and saving money and doing this. But at what cost? You hear me? One life is too much. Too much. Thank you guys. I'm getting a little emotional. So, you know, I'm just here to say that they really need to get together and fix this thing. Frankly, I'm offended because they should have had community meetings before this mess. They should have let us know what they were planning to do instead of cramming this down our throats. Now we have all these tragedies and things. And I think it's not fair because they did not give us a chance. They put it on the ballot, and I, for one, remember voting for this mess. Do you want criminals to go to jail? Well, of course we do. Nobody sat and explained it, the ins and outs. You know, they didn't say that, oh, we're going to let out dangerous criminals, and then shoplifters we're going to hold, you know, things like that. They did not explain that mess to us, because I, for one, would not have voted for it. I would have told my people not to vote for it. But guess what? Now, they got a fight on their hands, because I'm not just going to sit there and say nothing and do nothing. You know, and they say, oh, well, you should be afraid of the criminals. I'm more afraid of these legislators. I'm more afraid of the lawmakers. And you know, when we were in Delaware, they were saying, oh, well, the criminals, they're innocent until proven guilty. Okay, fine. That's the way it's supposed to be. But in the meantime, what's supposed to happen when reality hits? Okay? You're saying, okay, well, this computer system says they're low risk. That same computer system told them people 3 days before my son's murder that this guy was low risk. Whatever happened to the old way, where you're looking at the criminal history, and then saying, okay, this guy is a danger, we're going to hold him, okay? This guy had 28 prior convictions, okay? Jess was let out on a gun charge. committed this murder. Now what? Frankly, I'm surprised that they kept him in this time. And I said like this, they are talking about the terrorists over there in Iraq. We have terrorists right in our own community. Because now you're letting these people out. We're afraid to talk to the police because guess what? They're going to be right back out. The cops, they're getting frustrated because they arrest somebody that they know is a menace to our society. And then they turn around 2 or 3 days later, they're right back out again. So what are we supposed to do? I'm not going to sit back and be a sitting duck. And everybody says, oh, you're ranting and raving and screaming and whatever. I'm going to scream to the rooftops. Okay? Because now, okay, my son is gone, but I have grandchildren. My grandkids can't even go outside and play in the yards. It's a shame. It shouldn't be that way. And what type of person would I be to sit back and do nothing and say nothing? I refuse to just sit there because, okay, I don't have money, okay, or anything like that, but I have a moral responsibility, not just to myself, but to my community. And I'm going to do whatever I can. All right?